you bird brain.
What do you do, backflips? You jump up there in a silly suit? What do you do?
Yo, bam! I want you to play that.
Yep. All right, here we go. Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Fast Freddie Rocks Youngstown. We are here at the Youngstown studio in downtown Youngstown, beautiful downtown Youngstown.
Beautiful studio.
And you like the studio, guys?
Man.
Love it, man.
Boy, we have an all-star cast here today. This might be our biggest biggest show of all times here today. We've got guitarist and Youngstown humorist extraordinaire Jerry Centifanti here. We've got Mahoney County Commissioner Anthony Centifanti in the house. He's already strapped up, man. He's got the guitar. He's ready to play.
Man. I'm ready to jam.
You don't get out much to play.
No, I know. So this is a big chance.
This is my debut.
Go ahead, give us a couple of licks.
Give you a little licks?
Yeah. That sounds pretty good. Jerry
Thank
teach you all these licks, or did you teach him?
Let me tell you what. This guy here is my cousin. He's taught me since I was 15 years old. Every lick, everything I've known was because of Jerry Centifanti. And we still play together. He still teaches me. And I get to jam out with him once in a while when post-COVID, we used to be able to go.
He played the amphitheater down in Youngstown with the house band with us and everything.
Right. I remember you did a couple songs over at the
Bills,
the Palms at one point. Remember we were there, Tongue and Groove. You jumped in.
Yes.
And Bill's Place, man. We used to have them jams
Whenever he comes out, he's welcome to come up.
Oh yeah, give us a couple more little licks here.
Oh, all right, man. Let's see, little country.
Look at that look on Jerry's face. Jerry's just like, yeah, baby. Yeah.
He's ready. And whenever he wants it, I'm going to hand it over to him.
I'm waiting for him to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? No. So you can point it out real quick, huh?
Tell him how you learned rhythm, how you learn how to keep tempo.
When I was younger, and still to now, Jerry said, listen, you got to get your rhythm down.
Rhythm, guitar playing is,
it's timing. And he's the rhythm master. Jerry can play bass, guitar, drums. So he has a natural beat in him. He would put his foot over top of my foot.
No, you'd put your foot
and
on
vice versa, and then he would make me go like this. And that's how he would keep me in time.
He would feel the tapping.
Right.
Yeah.
And the strum.
Because a metronome, he didn't even, but to see, he's coming along now.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't do that.
We're not allowed to do that on here, are we?
That was
but look what key I was playing.
That was a little different there.
It's not in the same key.
Yeah, exactly.
But he taught me how to do that. And it's the right hand, and it's timing. You know, you could sit here and rip off licks.
He's good with his right hand.
But to play a song, he's bad. He's bad. But that's how I learned. And he taught me all that. Plus, I got to say this, if you don't mind. Back in the day, and you probably remember, cassettes.
Yeah.
I kind of started out with albums, but in the 80s, the cassettes came. I would bring a cassette to the music store where Jerry taught, New York music. Say, Jerry, can you teach me how to play, Back in Black or Ozzy Osbourne? Sure. He'd put the cassette in, hear the first half of the song. He would sit there and write it out and play it.
I used what was
amazing
called Dago tablature because you didn't read music,
right?
And I read music, but I'm not writing all that shit out.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I'd just make a pattern of the. Actually, Mike, I got to give Mike Baranski credit for coining that because he called it Pollock tablature. So I called it Dago.
Right.
But what we would do is we just write a picture of the fretboard and we put where the fingers go and what order they came in. Easy. A lot of guys come in when they're 18 years old. They don't want to start with Little Brown Jug.
Right.
They want to go right into what they like. Yeah. So that was a very fast method of getting students interested in playing.
So what was the first song you learned how to play?
It was called Hot Rod. And I think my teacher might have just wrote it. It was kind of like an exercise. We used to play in ensembles. When I started playing guitar, there were like 100 kids taking lessons at the time because it was big. The guitar was huge. I started in 61 and a half. I was 6 and a half when I started, okay? But by that, then 8 years old, the Beatles,
Right.
Boom, everybody wanted a guitar. So we'd have like ensembles of beginners, then the intermediate and advanced, and we all play together. T. Ross was a big proponent of lessons. Got a lot of kids playing. Back then, we used to rent Idora Ballroom once a year and have T. Ross Day there.
And so then all the students would get out and show off a little bit. Oh, that's crazy.
And then
that's
my
cool.
brother started out on accordion. He's my older brother. I don't talk too much about him, but I looked up the family tree. He was a sap. But anyway, we played together for 9 years. We slept in the same room together. So naturally we hate each other. But the thing was, we played together. He played accordion first. I played guitar. We had a band called the Heartbeats. We were like 7 and 10 or 11, Yeah. And then we started from there. And he played the bass on the accordion. Then he graduated. He quit, went to guitar. And then we formed the Next of Kin, which was our first good band that played a lot. Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, we talked about this before. You started playing at that early age, and then you kind of got burned out at some point, didn't you? And then you just backed off. Like when you were probably at the point where, like, now's the time for me to be out there and slinging that guitar. You were burnt out, right?
When I was in like 6th grade, 7th grade, I was playing at the Outdoor Ballroom twice, 3 times a month. Every other Sunday night, I was at the Cove South till 1 in the morning, and that's where I met, Roger Lewis from the Poppy. I played with the Poppy. Volume 4, which was Phil Keaggy's band before New Hudson Exit, which was before the Glass Harp. I met Danny Pecchio at St. Joe's and Sharon. He was with a band called the Blues Option, but they were all 4 to 6 years older than me. Who really helped us out a lot. There's 2 people. Mike Roncone and Joe Marculin, who goes by the name of Ting.
Right, from the Human Beings.
Gave us, all the help we could get. They pushed us. Like Dick Belly and Ting would come in our basement while we rehearsed and drink beer and eat peanuts and tell us what we were doing wrong. I mean, a couple times, it was just something, to have. They were like the Beatles.
Oh, right, I know. Everybody you mentioned there, Danny Pecchio went on the Glass Harp, and Michael Stanley, and everybody knows Phil Keaggy's story. And I
met John Markovich when I was like 11. He was running lights for the Poppy. He's Pecchio's brother-in-law. I've known these guys all my life. But by the time, my brother eventually quit, which I was so, elated. And then the other guys went to college or, grew out of it. So I had a bunch of different versions of the Next of Kin. Kenny and Jimmy Gentile, remember, from Woodrow Wilson?
Yep.
Jerry's brother and Jimmy, remember? Yep. Well, Kenny and Jimmy were my guitar player and bass player, too, at the time. I played with everybody. There was Mike Damiano was keyboard player, and remember Mikey? Yeah. Everybody knows Mike Damiano.
Right.
Yeah. But I've just been. By the time I was 16, 17, I wanted to just go out and be a normal kid. But kids I went to school with didn't even know that I was playing.
Well, I didn't realize until later on.
No, because you were too young to go to the gristmill or the university club. I played the original Freak Out in McKinley Heights. On the canopy bed. So I've been, playing, and I had to have an adult supervision with me. Right. My dad would come with me. And I was the youngest member of Local 46, or 80s. I don't even know what local it is. I haven't been in that musicians union for ages. But I was the youngest member. I was in when I was 10. And I had to be, Mike Roncone just happened to be vice president. So, helps when
so you were in the musician union at 10, and you were playing with all these cats that we just mentioned.
I opened up for the Music Explosion, which did a little bit of soul.
Oh, great song.
I opened up for the Shadows of Night, who did Gloria. I opened up for Sam the Sham in the Pharaohs.
Sam the Sham.
Woolly Bully.
Honest to God.
I opened up for.
I like that band.
Me too.
That's unbelievable.
Where'd you do the Woolly Bully at, man? I love Woolly Bully.
The Woolly Bully was at Akron Home in high school. So I'd go travel to Akron with the band. My dad would drive the band. We had the lights and the PA. I played with Joe Vitale when he was in the Childs.
Oh, really?
We wore like this houndstooth suit, and he stood up and played. They always had 2 bands back in the day.
Right.
Like Champion Rollercade would have Johnny Kaye and Mike Myers. Oops. This is Mr. DeVicchio. Can I take this?
Yeah.
He's going to be one of our guests.
Tell him hurry up and get his ass out here.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, we're already on, Mark.
Where the old
Get down
Youngstown
here.
Club was. I showed you a picture of the building.
The old Habers building.
You're on the air right now.
Yeah, we're in the old Habers building.
You know where Dominic the Jeweler used to be?
The old Youngstown.
I don't want to mention competition, but
Youngstown
the old
Club
Harshman
building.
building, right across the street.
Go ahead, do a little bit. Crank that up. Yeah, little film music while they're talking.
West.
I'll drown
East
them.
Federal.
Yeah, East Federal.
You know where the parking deck is, and where
the post office.
The post
Come
office.
down to the post office and then
I sent you a picture of the building too, just in case.
Right.
You go around the back, and there's a nice entrance that comes in. We're right in the first floor.
we have a seat
big
waiting
window.
for you.
We got a
We have a seat waiting for you.
Wherever that is. The only thing that kept me out of college was high school.
It's right across from the YMCA.
Right across from the YMCA. Here, Anthony?
We'll just let Anthony noodle here a little bit while we take care of some business.
MapQuest.
Sorry, I'm getting a little carried away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't this
haunted
something?
from the
We're doing our podcast. We got to give our next guest
Instructions on how to get here.
All right.
Right now, my car.
We're actually on the air giving Mark directions on how to get here. Because this is going to be cool because once he does, he's going to walk in through that door.
We're going to have to do a theme song when he comes in.
Right.
On the corner of what, Walnut Street?
No.
What street is it?
It's one down from the YMCA.
One down from the YMCA.
It's the old Youngstown Club.
Commerce Street. Commerce Street. Yeah, Commerce Street and
Or the
Federal.
Youngstown Club.
The front's on East Treble.
All right.
Treble. Bass. And the back is on Commerce.
All right. Got it?
All right. You'll find it.
Yeah, you'll see us. It used to be Haber's Furniture. Way back in the day. All right, now we got that out of the way. Okay, so now you're playing with all these cats out there all over the place.
Tell them how old you were when you were doing all that.
I was 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
So you're playing with Sam the Sham at some high school in Akron.
Opening band, that was like,
What were they like, Jerry?
They were cool. They were great. Now, the Music Explosion, a little bit of soul. Remember that?
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do.
Yep.
That was a big song. Well, then the Ohio Express, Yummy Yummy.
Yeah.
And, they were on the same label. So I played one night at Champion Rollercade with the Ohio Express. Lead singer, his name was Jamie Lyon. He was a wild man, back in the day. He was like Dennis T. Menace of before Dennis was even nuttier. Anyway, then I played about 3 months later at Akron Hoban with the Ohio Express. He was the lead singer for the Ohio Express. I said, I thought you were with the Music Explosion. He goes, he was the record label sends everybody out. That's what they did back then.
Right. They'd have a bunch of guys together and they have a hit, so we'll just make them the band and send them out and throw a record out. Okay, today you're the Music Explosion. Next week you're somebody else and the same musicians. And
when you're a kid like me, I had nothing else to really think about because I wasn't into, I like girls, obviously, but I didn't know why.
Yeah.
I was young. And all I thought about was the guitar, and I remember all this stuff, And when you're a kid, you thought the people you heard play on the radio were like,
oh, sure,
big stars. When they'd show up in a shittier van than we had, and we had to loan them our PA because theirs wouldn't work. You know what I mean? But they're all just
back to doozy music when that happened.
This business here is here today, gone tomorrow.
Right. So, but that's pretty wild. So you got a whole bunch of stories here that stretch back. For being as young as you are, you were in these guys that were like
I was right in there,
one step ahead of us.
I was 11 playing with 24-year-old guys.
Yeah, so almost two steps ahead. If you're sitting there talking about you were playing with the Human Beings and these guys, I mean, those were like the guys that were.
They were the big. Human Beings and Pied Pipers after the Ron Cohn era. Ron Cohn was the original superstar of Youngstown.
Right.
Mighty Mike.
He's like one of the guys that took, like, I would say, the Elms Ballroom from like the big band era
Kicked
and
it
then
in the
they
ass.
brought it into the rock era.
Mike played, wow. I mean, everybody thinks of Mike Roncone today as some,
Yeah, the Mike Roncone Orchestra.
Thought About You, Summer Wind. Mike used to rock out. He had a great band. He had Jimmy Vivo on drums, one of the greatest drummers You know, bang, he hit hard too. And his brother Tony played sax, great sax player. He had Gene Fedorchak on bass. And back then he was a motherfucker on bass.
Yeah.
Okay? Excuse my language, you're gonna hear that. You know, but he was good. And then he had a great keyboard player named Ray Medvick. They used to do Working in a Coal Mine, but they did it right. Black is Black. You remember that?
Oh,
one?
yeah, Los Bravos.
But they just would jam. And then we'd go up and play. We'd set our equipment up next to each other. There'd be 2 drum sets. We didn't share shit back then.
Yeah.
Except the only band that let us use their gear was the Human Beings. Let us use all their backline. Because we were still in the Super Reverbs and Bandmasters.
Yeah.
They had the Dual Showmans.
Yeah.
But the next gig we had Super Beatles. So, you know, my old man was like competitive.
Oh yeah,
He worked in the middle.
So your dad was behind this though. Like, you know, now back in the day, some people wouldn't want to push their kids into that, or they would keep away from it. Like, hey, put that goddamn guitar away.
Too much.
What are you doing? You know, now that you have long hair and stuff.
Oh yeah.
There? Okay, so
I used to get thrown. I mean, I grade school was cool.
Yeah.
Because all the teachers knew what I did. But I remember, like, I'd get home from the Cove at 1 a.m, and we'd have to take all the equipment in the house. We didn't leave that stuff in the truck back then. It gets stolen, you know. Guitars can't stay in the truck. So I'd have to help them guys carry the stuff in, too. If I was getting paid.
Right.
And they'd say, come on, you little fat ass, let's go, come on, you know. And we, you know, I'd do it. I'd take it into the Super Beatle cabinet and bring it down the basement.
Right.
I'd get to bed 2:30. And I remember my mom saying one day, Joe, they're going to put us in jail if we keep him out this late on a school night, you know. But my old man would work 2 full-time jobs. Full-time for Ohio and full-time for Cheat and Tube, okay? And he would sleep behind our stack of amps on the covers while we were playing. We were loud, you know. But he'd take a nap back there.
Yeah.
But Joe, my old man, you know, pushed the hell out of us. You know?
Oh, that's
he was
good
our
to hear.
manager.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He even got the Human Beings gigs here and there. He had a booking agency.
And you know what? That's really generous, like Ting and those guys, to let you guys use their stuff, because there's a lot of people, you know, when it comes to that kind of stuff, you know how competitive things were and still are. And they'll just say, okay, yeah, here, plug into this.
No, they came, you know, because we could have done them with the Super Reverbs and the Band. They were nice, good amps. I mean, they're still good amps today. But it was just back then, if you had big amps, it didn't care if you sucked. You were like, you know, the shit.
Right,
you know?
right.
So, you know, and it was a lot easier, too, to really let them. You know, we'd have to change, you know, or share the stage. But Ting and was... It still is one of my greatest exponents of, you know, of me. He has a higher opinion of me than I do of me. But, you know, and I really, he's still my friend to this day. We still go out and eat. Talk, you know, I love the guy. But that's why I kind of like him, try and pay it forward and help fledgling young, you know, guys go. You do it, you know.
Well, now and then, like you and Mark and some of your relatives, you're like involved with our DNA family tree. A couple of bands with some young guys. Why don't you, you know, cover that for a minute? Give those guys a plug.
Okay, I first met Mark DeVicchio when he was like 12, and I was working in the Sheet and Tube. I was a crane operator. There he is now.
Okay.
That's
he found
that's
it.
his Acura.
There he is.
Attorneys could afford to do that.
Boy, he's peeling out.
Yeah. I think he saw the place and took off.
Yeah, this is the guy. There's one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet.
Oh,
you know, when you see him and he's so nice, you think, I can't be that nice.
Right. Especially being a divorce attorney.
Yeah. Well,
you know, when he's taking these people to the cleaners, and he's like, maybe that's the thing. You come off like you're a nice guy, and then you just sucker punch him out of nowhere.
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
My sister's an attorney. She's the nicest person you'll ever meet. You know?
Right.
You know?
Here he comes.
But here he comes. He looks good, too.
Oh, yeah, man. He got his court clothes on.
Better than me.
You know.
He always looks good.
So anyways, the
let me get back to
family tree. Okay, so you met him. He's 12 years old.
He was 12 years old. I used to work in the mill with a guy named Rocco Monaco. He played quarterbox.
Great guy.
Hey, Mark, come on.
There he is.
We got a seat here for you.
Counselor.
Haber building. This is the Commerce building.
Tell your neighbors it came from Haber.
We used to
The
be
store with so much
furniture
more.
store.
Everybody knows that.
Jeez. Thank you.
Hey, sir. Welcome to the show. I'm doing great. Mark DeVicchio from the house band in the studio here this afternoon.
You know why it's?
You know what? We needed one more Italian. You know,
You know what? There's three. There's three now.
In here, and now look at this.
You're outnumbered.
Boy, oh
I
boy.
like hunkies. I get along with hunkies. Some of my best friends were hunkies. Jerry Rayner. Remember Jerry?
Oh, yeah.
Like this one. Cheapest hunky I ever met.
We all are, man.
He has his rubbers retreaded. He's so cheap.
I turn them inside out. Okay, so we're just getting to where
Rocco Monaco played. I didn't play when I worked in the mill. I was working 3 shifts, 3 to 11, 11 to 7, 7 to 3. I was a crayman. I worked 6, 7 days a week. Why even bother? But every once in a while, I had a night off.
Forgot.
Rocco Monaco had a polka band. Carl Farina was a drummer. Carl Farina, guys. Everybody knows cartoons. And if you're watching, hi, Carl. I know him since I was a kid.
we should drag him in. Bring him in.
Where's he at?
Oh, I thought you said he was walking by.
Look
at the camera.
Oh, yeah, that was an imaginary wave. Okay. I was going to say, if he's standing out here, bring him in.
The
We got room.
Cardew, or Kaka, as we call it. But anyway, I worked in the mill with Carl, his dad, Carl Sr., and Rocco.
Ruco.
Okay, they had a wedding or something at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Hall, and they'd go out and play polkas and wedding stuff.
Wedding music.
And you were friends with Rocco Monaco, right? Is that how you
From
got
Our
it?
Lady of Mount Carmel. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, and so one night, Rocco calls me back. He goes, "I got a kid that's going to come out and sing and play with us. He's really good. His name's Mark DeVicchio." I said, "Okay." So I got there, and there's this 12-year-old kid, little kid, reminded me of myself. With his guitar, dressed. He always looks shy.
I know. He really does.
Mark's the latest thing in men's.
Right.
GQ.
But anyway,
God, bro.
No, they're not.
come here, you're sweating, bro.
Trying to find this building.
You need a towel?
Bet you were like,
Anyway, he goes, so he sang with us. He was saying fantastic. And he was one of the nicest kids you ever want to meet. And his mother, Christina, was with him. And she's one of them. His whole family are like, I'm sure they fight in private.
Yeah.
But they're the nicest
people. Good
They're the
people.
nicest family you ever want to meet. So, I've known Mark over the years. I had my crew I played with, certain, group of guys, and he played with his group of guys. He was younger than me, and it's probably best we didn't hook up back then because we probably wouldn't be playing together today. That's just how things go.
Right.
But so over the years, and then there's a guy named Carmen Spezio, who's a great drummer, and he's also the house band's drummer. And I used to play with him when he was like 17 with a band. I think he used to throw together a band called Rock and Rye with Johnny D. Frank from the East Side. And we go, and Carmen was a stellar drummer when he was 17. Okay? So anyway, over the years, they got Mike into the band, Baranski, and he was their guitar player. But it was, occasionally, musicians got to get sick once in a while. And it's the hardest thing in the world for a musician to get sick.
Right.
Because when you got somebody's wedding coming up, you can't disappoint them.
Oh, yeah.
So they'd call me to fill in for it. Okay? I'd fill in on bass once, I think. I filled in on guitar a lot of times. But anyway, when Mike left, that's how I met Mark. So they called me. I was playing with Dominic Coco, another great human being.
He's like Youngstown's version of Tom Jones.
Yeah.
The guy is still going. He can still
Only
sing.
better looking.
He
He had
still,
more
he still looks good. I mean,
He can kick Tom Jones's ass.
he's also known as Johnny Fontaine.
I mean, I see him every time, and it's like, okay, we're all getting older, and this guy keeps like getting younger. Mark's going to be the same way.
The same thing. Same thing
as soon
with
as
Mark.
Dominic retires,
Yeah.
it's going to be this guy right
You're the
here.
next.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
lucky. I'm lucky.
he'll be the next guy.
Something to aspire to.
Mark worries a lot. He got a lot on his shoulders. And Dominic, believe it or not, as cool as he is, he was the guy that he did everything. He had to do everything. He booked the band. He picked the song. And I don't squawk. I play whoever is the boss of the band. I don't care if I've been playing for 60 years. It don't matter to me.
Right.
I'm a team player. I do what's required of me. And Dominic, I worked with Dominic for 11 years. Okay. It was the greatest 11 years I had. But sadly to say, Dominic has a lot more energy than I do. Okay?
So he wants to play a lot more than you.
He played more,
Right.
and his sets were like hour and a half. Dominic could go an hour and 45 minutes,
Yeah.
That'd be about an hour and 10 minutes. I'm ready to take a break.
Yeah.
So I even bring a stool nowadays. play all you want. I'll sit, nobody cares. I'm old.
You're like B.B. King.
Yeah, remember that?
Hey, all the great ones end up doing that.
I still
That's
try
not
and
going to be a
stay.
shame.
Even Jimmy Page sat in a chair.
I try and stay erect as long as possible. Both ways. But anyway.
And he won't gain a pound. Dominic eats like pizza and he loves bread. Dominic Conco, he doesn't gain an ounce.
But wait,
he's a fitness nut, isn't
you
he?
mentioned
What is
him
that?
in the future.
Karate,
Dominic
black
Conco in the
belt.
future.
Yeah.
What did I say you were when I first met you?
Did you say that too? So it must be true. If you
Sharp
said it, I
dresser,
said it. Yeah.
good shape.
Right.
The
Yep.
man works out. He
Yep.
takes care of himself.
I know.
And he's a good businessman.
That is.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, we might not have a booking. All of a sudden, he comes up with like 6 really good ones,
Yeah.
No, and I'm fortunate to be with him. I've had a lot of good luck lately, to play with good bands over the years. I've been in the bands that don't draw flies, and I've been in the bands that do draw flies. It's a lot more fun playing with a band that
Draw some people.
All of the bands, they go through different generations, different kind of the makeup of the band has changed.
I mean, you go from packing Irish Bobs,
Yeah.
which is no big deal,
You take the little steps up,
Right.
You incrementally play bigger, bigger.
Right.
And then when we played the Panera Fest at the
We were
I
talking
never
about
thought
that
I did
earlier.
that.
You should tell Fast
That
Freddie
was-
how that was.
that was
night.
it. I got a video of that. It's awesome.
it was fabulous. It was the greatest venue.
We have more people than the
I
Ohio
felt
players.
such a connection, and I never knew what they said when you play for a big mass of people, how you could feel so connected to a big mass of people. How many people you think were there?
Over
tonight?
2,000.
Oh,
the guy,
easy.
Way, way
Easy.
over
the
2,000.
guy that told there was
I
one
felt
of
a
the
connection
crew.
with every single person there. It was just like you were feeding off their energy. And Youngstown came out that night, and they were ready to party.
Oh, yeah.
They were ready to party.
He's
And
the best front man in Youngstown.
No question.
Best
Undoubtedly.
I played with Dominic's a good front man, but he's different. Our group was a little more subdued,
Right.
a little more funk,
Yeah.
a little more old standards. But Mark, when he gets going, it's just wild.
it's the energy. It's the music. I try to get into it as much as I can.
Right.
And that's
Plus, he sings good.
I can't believe
Well,
how
that
he
helps
does it.
too, man. Yeah. No, now how could you miss though if like Jerry's with the band and you got Jerry up there jamming, you got Mark singing. What do you think, Anthony?
It's unbelievable. Listen, I've seen these guys, and I've had the privilege of playing a few times with them, which I was scared out of my pants because that night that crowd was just unbelievable. The people love this band. They love these guys. They're from our area. They know
Thanks
our
to him,
community.
he built this.
And they're talented. That's what we got to remember. The talent in this room right here, and I'm excluding myself, is amazing.
I'm a Johnny come lately,
Amazing.
but these guys.
They could go anywhere.
So he has a sister, beautiful sister, Maria, and she has 2 twin sons, and she has 3 others,
four boys.
4 boys, okay, and they're all great people. And Maria, she comes out, she's the. She looks like him, only prettier, But she got the energy he has too, and she keeps me going. And her husband's great, Vince. Anyway, they got these 2 boys that are talented, and they've been playing since they were little kids. They copied their Uncle Mark. They got his moves like down. Plus they do their own stuff,
Yeah.
Plus they play. One plays keyboards. They all play bass, guitar, and they have Nick Spezio, who is our drummer from the house band's Carmen's son, who's just as awesome as his old man. He's not as good as his dad yet, but he will be one day.
Yeah.
So whenever they need a fill-in, they call Uncle Jerry.
Well, that's our DNA, right?
Yeah.
Our DNA, yes.
Okay.
That's a hell of a band, too.
I could spell the name, so I figure,
I'm in.
I'll go. Because and you know what? I love playing with them. If it wasn't for them, I played about, in 2020, I played about 5 gigs, maybe 6, and 4 of them was with them. So
Yeah, you were talking about how you jump in with all these other bands. So, like the last one you played with you were a Hearn brother for a day.
Oh, love the Hearn brothers also.
Jumped in with the house band
Whatever
and then our
they need.
DNA. So wherever it's at, you just
I
jump
jumped in with the Flashbacks when they, Greg Yockman, renowned bass player in Youngstown, Ohio, had carpal tunnel syndrome. I had just gotten fired from Frankie and the Sensations, or cranky in the menstruation. But anyway, we're going to
crank that up a little bit.
It's all good. We're all back. Me and Frankie are blood brother. We'll never be enemies. Yeah, I love it. But anyway, just coming off of that, then the flashback, Brian McCall calls me up and says, "Hey, Jerry, great, can't make it." Well, they knew to call me because I know every song. They did 60 songs. I knew there's the whole thing. No rehearsal. I went out there for 6 months. But that's what I do. I'm not afraid to go. I'll fudge it.
Yeah. How about all the jam nights you used to do?
I've sat in with the Rays, when they needed a guitar player. I can't even think of how many guys called.
Well, you got me backstage with Zach Wilde, got my guitars autographed through one of his contacts at the Cabela Center. Yeah, amazing.
He happened to be tour manager. Yeah.
Jam, they've been around.
That was with Hell Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Metallica, or Megadeth.
Right. So, Anthony, you're in kind of that heavy stuff too, Zach Wilde?
Yeah, that's what I grew up with.
Give us a little, just give us a little metal riff there.
A little metal riff? Yeah. Let's see.
Boy, Jerry was watching you like a hawk.
What was that from?
Gary Moore.
Gary Moore.
He was watching like a hawk, man.
I remember Gary Moore when Carol Burnett was on his show.
But I was an AC/DC guy. I saw AC/DC first concert was 1983.
Derwin Kirby.
And it was the Flick of the Switch tour. And I was like a junior or sophomore in high school. And when I saw Angus Young come out on top of an amplifier, 30 feet in the air in a blue light, and just started going like this with that suit on, I'm like, I want to be him. That's what I want to do. That's what really got me into music, was going to those concerts back in the day. And I've seen every heavy metal band that you can think of. I was at their concerts. And my parents let me go, thank God, in 82 and 83.
You were spoiled.
And we got out of there alive, but it was so fun. And that's what got me into music. Then hanging around this guy. Right. And he said, I can show you how to play that song, and then it just grew, and then I started buying guitars and getting into it. But AC/DC is what did it for me. I thought they were the most amazing band in the world, and they're still rocking today.
You got like an ACD-ish riff you throw down?
Could I do that?
Well, he's a boss.
There you go. I see it. That's good. Yeah, we got to watch out with these copyright. Yeah. The copy. Hey, man, we don't want to get knocked off of anything.
Thunderstruck.
Do it in a different key, or it's kind of like,
kind of like.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, as long as it's different.
One extra note in. He always throws an extra note in.
Right. It's kind of like Vanilla Ice and Queen, as long as we get that little gray area there. Hey, we got an attorney on the show right now. We got an attorney here. So.
Will you protect
He's good, too. This is a good attorney in Youngstown.
Yeah, there we go.
What year did you see AC/DC?
83, Flick of the Switch tour.
I went to... For those about to rock,
no,
where they brought the cannon out. I was in high school. Quick story.
I used to date a girl we called AC/DC.
We were in a loge. We were in a loge at the old Cleveland auditorium, the Coliseum.
Yeah, Richfield. And what a place.
I'll just do it real quiet for Mark.
I was in 9th or 10th grade, and I was with a couple buddies. One of the buddies is always kind of trouble.
Yeah.
So he disappears. We're 15 years old. Our parents dropped us off. Pound on the door, let me in. We open the door. He stole an entire tray of beers from the vendors. An entire tray.
God bless it.
What are we going to do with that?
You would ask that today.
Oh, no. I didn't ask it then twice either back then.
I'll tell you, two of my best AC/DCs. Yes. One is when they played at the Tomorrow Club, and they opened for Mink DeVille. This was with Bon Scott, and they opened for Mink DeVille. And
Bon Scott,
they come out, and they just rock the house. Now, Mink DeVille, he's like kind of one of those New York City CBGB guys. And any other time, I think that he would have been, everybody at the Tomorrow Club was open-minded. All them bands would play there. there.
Yeah.
But he played there after AC/DC, and he was practically getting booed off the stage. I mean, that's one of the only times at Tomorrow Club where I saw like the audience was really like against somebody. And probably any other day, if he would have been there, it wouldn't have mattered. But Bon Scott and him and Angus come out right here in downtown Youngstown, and it was just off the charts. They only played like maybe 5 songs, opening act.
Probably all they do.
And
right. And they just come out, and everybody in the place was just like, bring back AC/DC.
They didn't care about the other band. I know.
The music is so basic, but it's so tight.
Yeah, I think Keith Richards said they only play one chord, but they play that one chord better than everybody else.
Right?
They weave in and out.
Live. How was he live?
Yeah. That's my guy. Bon Scott was like,
And then
was he good? Bon Scott?
Yeah. And then I saw him at Cleveland Stadium in like 1978, and it was the World Series of Rock.
Right.
And this was like one of the best shows I was ever at. It was Thin Lizzy with Phil Lynott.
Oh yeah.
And he died not too long after that.
Was Gary Moore with him then or no?
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think.
He came after.
And then it was the Scorpions' first time they ever played in the United States.
Wow.
And then it was AC/DC with Bon Scott.
Yeah.
And at that time, Angus was like on somebody's shoulders playing out in the middle of the crowd.
On Bon's.
On Bon's shoulders out in the middle of the crowd.
He's a skinny fucker too.
Oh, yeah.
How do you hold him on his
They don't weigh nothing.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And this was before, cordless mics and stuff. So they had this big, long mic cord, and they're out there jamming.
Good old days.
And then after that, it was Journey at their peak.
I heard them downtown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Journey. I love Journey. I've seen them
For $4
twice.
on a Monday night.
Worlds Apart tour.
Yeah.
I saw Rush downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And Rat. I saw Root.
Cheap
I call him Root, but
Tubes.
Rat.
I mean, that was a great place.
Alice Cooper, Kiss. I mean, you name it. They all played there. That Journey show, I remember that because I was right up in front of the stage.
Wow.
And Neil Sean was playing his guitar like 2 inches from my nose.
Yeah.
Like his sweat was flying on me.
There's
And
a
he's just
shredder.
like, and then when they went into that Anytime and Feeling That Way, they hit that so clear. It was better than the record.
Wow.
I mean, they just come out there.
That is
Ooh, Anytime. And
I was a big fan of Journey before they had a lead singer.
Yeah.
Remember them?
They were more like a jazzy.
It was like more just of a instrumental guitar thing, but they needed a singer. And they got the guy from Toto recommended Steve Perry to sing for them. Okay. And it was, I got some demos of Journey trying out different singers.
Really?
Oh yeah. But the singer made the band.
Right.
Steve Perry.
And I'll tell you, when they had him and Greg Raleigh both singing at that one point at the beginning, boy, those two guys you had 2 dynamite lead singers just playing off of each other. I thought that was really good.
Neil Sean, when he was with Santana when he was 17.
Yeah. I mean, he's like you, man. He was out there jamming with the big
away,
boys when he was in a teenager.
He was out there with Santana, though, not with the next kid.
Hey, Sam the Sham. You were rocking
but I didn't play in his band. I'll tell you what. If I lived in California,
Hey there, little Red Riding.
I'd quit school soon.
So getting back to this show then. We ain't done yet. So then after that, Aerosmith comes out. And, I mean, they were all messed up. And Aerosmith broke up for a long time at that show. They had some kind of falling out. And then the headliner of the night was Ted Nugent at his peak. And the Nuge just come out.
Played with him.
The Nuge just come out. He was the headliner.
I saw him at the Igloo.
He rocked, didn't he? I seen him twice.
Apart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why he got into the politics and he alienated some people. But that guy is still badass.
I know he is.
And that's, I think, right when the Double Live Gonzo album was out. So he practically played that. Great White Buffalo and Stranglehold. I mean, he was just out there. It was just incredible.
I saw Ted with the Amboy Dukes
a couple years ago.
The Amboy Dukes, and he was holding the nut, and he blew snot all over the First Lake Road, I think, and he was sweating. It was just a maniac in a loincloth.
Oh, yeah.
He was with the Journey to the Center of Your Mind.
Yeah.
Do you remember Yngwie Malmsteen?
Yes.
Okay, that was a big thing in the 80s. I grew up in the 80s, and it's like, oh my God, did you hear Yngwie? Nobody could touch him. Nobody could play that stuff. You could fake it, but you just couldn't do it. So Yngwie ends up opening up for AC/DC in '85 on Fly on the Wall tour. He was the opening act.
He threw stuff at him.
And we're just sitting there, and he's wailing. I mean, really good stuff, right? So, wow, my God, you saw God there. All of a sudden, the lights go out, you hear this, the hum goes on, and Angus Young comes out and hits an A chord, and it was like, oh my God, who was that? Inge who? I mean, that's what it was. He was nothing. He was nothing. He was finished.
He comes out and just hits one chord.
Well, that shit does get old after about 2 songs. It's like a polka. I love polka.
I mean, it is what it is. It's like a polka.
hey, no offense, but he was in a polka band. Bob Madison, right? Yeah.
Were you, Mark?
I was in a couple polka bands.
You have to have great timing to play that stuff.
I played banjo.
No, I didn't know you played banjo. I learned something new.
What kind of polka band's that they even let Italians in? First of all, I have a problem with that. But I'm outnumbered. I got 3 Italians right here. You got 1 Ukrainian, so I guess I got to watch myself.
Frankie Yankovic was the king of my house.
Oh yeah,
Frankie Yankovic.
Frankie was something else.
Rocky
man.
Chirchiglia.
Oh yeah,
that was my guy.
We wrote a polka. Who
Miss
put
him.
LSD in my
My babushka.
That's a good
one. My dad
huh?
would make us play polkas every Sunday. He said, you could play what you want Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
I want polkas on Sunday.
Yep, that's how
that used to be a big thing. On our way to church, we'd listen to polkas or Libby and the Tamburitzins. We'd have to listen to Libby.
That was my kuma.
I played with
Really? Did you know Taffy? You remember Taffy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His son was the bass player in Next of Kin. Steve Brajak, great guy.
Yeah, we would on the way to church would have to listen to Libby, and a lot of times you could tell she was partying hard the night before, and she would be on there, and you could just tell she was hungover and with her voice to begin with, and all the polka guys,
right?
It was.
Those are great memories playing at those polka shows. I was played on that Penn Ohio Polka Pals album that was nominated for a Grammy.
Yep.
Val Pulaski.
They went
Jimmy Sturr.
They went on a cruise ship and played with the Mamas and the Papas.
Eddie Blazonczyk. You think I knew all those guys?
You can't escape the cruise ships, and they had a captive audience.
Yes.
I played with Bob Madison's band polkas. It was fun. You guys treated me great. Bob's a great kid.
It's fun.
Remember Jimmy Sturr?
Hey, we should let's see let's give a shout out to some of the people tuning in here this afternoon. Steve James tuning in. Our friend Jody Kraniak is checking in today. Morris Ray. Our buddy Bill Scudere. Boy, we have Bill Scudere on.
I played with Sideshow. I was a Sideshow.
Were you a Sideshow? I think everybody's been in Sideshow at one time
Bill
or another.
Scudere is a bad mother. I'll say that right now.
Oh yeah.
We played with Sideshow when we opened for David Lee Roth and Blue Oyster Cult.
Right.
At the Cafaro Field.
Yeah.
You know what an awesome band was back in the apartment days?
God.
Freak Out Apartment. The Shadows. They did Story in Your Eyes live. I mean, Pete Apple was with them for a while. I mean, what a great band. Scudere always blew me away.
Oh yeah, Billy, what a character. And then, that was a good show with David Lee Roth. My whole thing with that show is I thought it was going to suck because I saw him. That's right after he filled in for Howard Stern for a while, and the radio show bombed.
Right.
And then I saw him on the Tonight Show, and he was doing these Van Halen songs with a bluegrass band, and he looked like a dope. He was wearing these coveralls, and he just could cut his hair. That's when he first got his, cut his hair and stuff. And I'm looking at that, I'm going, poor David Lee. And then they said, hey, he's going to be at Cafaro Field. And I was out there. I think we hosted the show and all that. But I'll tell you what, he come out there with a Van Halen tribute band and blew that place away. I mean, it was Diamond Dave, with the mic stands and the karate kicks and the gold robe and the whole 9 yards. And it was like, I went there thinking, I was worried for him, like this guy's going to blow from everything I seen.
He was still rich.
He come out there and just kicked some ass.
I kind of remember like him backstage had an assistant lighting his cigarettes. He'd take 2 puffs, put it out, and his assistant would light him another one.
Really?
Yeah.
Van Halen's a great band. You can't deny. Alex Van Halen is one of the greatest rock drummers. I love Michael Anthony. I love even
Eddie.
Wolfie did a good job. Eddie Van Halen, he's an innovator. But without a good front man,
Yep.
You're a garage band.
You need somebody to bring it.
You're a garage band without a man.
Yeah.
You know, because there and here we go. This
He can
is where
sing
Mark
it.
comes in.
And Gizzy will tell you, he's our bass player, Michael Gizmondi.
Michael Gizmondi.
You know, everybody knows Michael.
Stanley. That's
Oh yeah, we got to get Gizzy down one day, man. We
I
got
thought
to get
he was
him in
coming.
here.
Gizzy works midnights. So this is his sleeping time right now. You
right.
got to be at the post office at like 9:30.
We'll get him on.
Yeah, he's
'Cause
one of the greatest. I've been friends with him since 1971. We met New Year's Eve. We were both trying to score
Meet
with
the
these
same
two
girl.
chicks. No, different one. But
Oh, okay.
same house. And that's where we met. He's been my friend ever since.
Yeah. Now, what were some of the bands that Gizzy was in before he would hit with Michael
Christ,
Stanley?
okay.
And
I
what was
first
his
met-
history?
Okay, so after I met Giz at Ray Condis's house,
Okay.
on New Year's Eve,
Right.
he was about 9 or something.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So is that when they still lived over on Gibson?
Oh no, they lived on the corner of Midlothian, right before Dilt's. And remember Weisenbach's
Yeah.
shop, that little plaza there at the corner of Southern and Midlothian.
Right.
He lived exactly one block down, right across from the Crystals, where the Crystals lived.
Right.
Pat and Marty
Yeah.
and
Nobody
Jeff.
else knows this, but we do.
Yeah, we're all South Side boys. We went to Whittier Wilson
Oh, okay.
when it was good. It was cool.
Oh, you know,
They
how
just
fun was
started
it?
putting cops at the door.
Yeah. How fun was it though, growing up on the South Side?
had a great time.
When we did, and going to Wilson, and
We had it was a
just-
melting pot.
Yep.
We had kids from Bennett, Bancroft, Taft, Jackson, Palsy Bud, all meeting.
Yep, and
the
then you
first
had
time-
then you had people from St. Stan's and St.
Right.
Matthias,
St.
and
Nick's,
and St. Dom's,
St. Cyril.
Yep.
But then but you knew these people before that
Yeah.
because we all went to Shady Run Swimming Pool,
Yep.
and we all lived at the Bourbon Rollercade.
Yep.
It's like I knew the Martin brothers when I was a little kid because I met them all that way. I lived in Brownlee Woods on Wakefield,
Right.
but I'd go down to Buckeye Circle, and I'd go down to Pasadena, and I'd go all the way up to Bar Hill, hang out with those guys up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We hitchhiked too. We didn't.
I mean, it was just such a good, now me and Jerry didn't really know each other in high school.
Where'd you go to high school,
You were
Freddie?
Wilson.
2 years behind
Yeah,
me.
right.
That's like 20 years.
Yeah.
Did you know Mr. Hamady?
Oh, yeah.
And
Friend of mine.
he made me get my first haircut.
Did he really?
And then the next year,
And he let his hair grow.
the next year he had longer hair than me.
And yeah.
Me and John Plaskett, he used to grab us. And we were always getting in trouble for our hair.
Yeah, I mean, it was just such a great place to grow up back
loved
then
it.
with Shady Run Pool and Arena Lanes and the roller rink and the McDonald's. And it
Freak
was like-
Out,
the
Sunday
Freak
afternoon
Out.
at the Freak Out, teenagers, you could go from 2 to like 6 or 7. They covered all the booze. Okay.
Yeah.
And we could go there. I heard the Raspberries there when I was like 15 or 14. I heard Joe Walsh and the It Jams. We used to have what's called It Jams. A bunch of musicians would set up. Phil Keggy was sitting on a stack of amps. You had all the great players. Grow up in Youngstown was
Yeah,
good.
two of my favorite stories because my mom always went to the laundromat that was in the same plaza
Yeah,
with the
mine
Freak
went to
out
the
there,
one in Poland.
And so we would always go to that laundromat. I look back on it now. We spent a lot of time at the laundromats.
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
did
why
too.
we didn't have a washing machine.
My father
we were like laundromat
same with
people.
us. I know.
We lived my dad built our house on Wakefield, beautiful brick, 2-story, hip-roof garage, and we didn't have a washing machine, bro. I said, Dad, why don't we have a washing? You'll throw a pair of socks in the dryer. Yeah, that was his excuse.
Yeah.
I think
you probably went that one on Matthews Road, too. There was that one on Matthews Road.
the only one we went to.
Crystal Cleaners. Remember?
The first one we went to was the one in the Struthers Plaza on 5th Street.
Oh, okay. Oh, right down at
That
the
guy
end.
Wahoo used to walk around that crazy
That one's
bastard.
still open, I think.
No, it's gone too.
Oh, is it?
But
Okay.
you know where that is? It's in the other plaza.
Yeah, right.
But we went there. Then my mother went to the one in Poland. I think there's a Rite Aid or a Walgreens there now, right at that Y where it turns off 170, turns to 224.
Yeah.
But I used to go. If I needed a pair of jeans, I had to go to the freaking laundromat.
Yeah, I know. Well, so getting back to that, so we used to go to that laundromat right there in the corner, in the plaza there, and I can remember 2 instances, because at this point you were like 14, I was 12, so I couldn't really get to the teen dance. But the one day we're there, and the back door's open of the Freak Out, and I'm just walking around because what are you going to do? You're there with your mom at the laundromat,
Sneak in.
Yeah, what do you do? You walk around the soap.
I just walk around the plaza, you know, all the way around.
Act like
And the back door's open, and I walk in, you know, and there's nobody in there. The band's just doing a sound check, and it's Bob Seger.
And you smelled the booze.
Bob Seger.
And the cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. You walk in there.
You wanted to stay.
Yeah, that's what got me into it. Yeah, so boy, what is that smell? Beer and cigarettes, and then rock and roll. Yeah. And so here's the Bob Seger system. They're doing their sound check, and I'm just standing right in front of them at the stage. I'm the only person in there, and all the tables and all the chairs are up on the tables, and people are mopping. They're not even paying attention. They're loading the coolers and this and that.
And here's Bob Seger.
And they're doing Ramblin' Gamblin' Man and all that stuff, and they got that Hammond B3 out there, and I'm standing there, I'm going, holy shit! But who would have known in 1969, 1970 that this would have been
a star?
Yeah. And the same thing happened with Joe Walsh. Me and my sister.
I love Joe Walsh.
Was your sister older?
Love
Younger. Well, me and my sister are back again at the laundromat, and I remember this as clear as day. I can't remember where I was, 3 hours ago.
Right, either.
So we got this. She saved up all these Kool-Aid packs and got this glow-in-the-dark Kool-Aid Frisbee. Okay. And that's the first day she had it. And so we're out in front of the freak out, because once again, they're laundromat. Yeah. So we're on laundromat duty, and we're throwing the Frisbee back and forth, and it goes up onto the awning of the freak out, up by the marquee. Yeah. So she's crying her eyes out, and I feel bad because I threw her brand new Frisbee up there. So I go in and I ask the guys, hey, is there any way you could get the Frisbee down? And they said, yeah, we're just changing the sign right now. You're in luck. When I'm up there, I'll just grab it. So next thing you know, they put up the James Gang.
Right.
And then after that, I go inside, and there's Joe, and they're just jamming through Funk 49 and all that stuff. And once again, it was the same thing where, the people are mopping the floors and
not even paying attention who the guy was.
Joe who? And he's in there, Funk 49.
They weren't getting home to go eat. And here's Joe Walsh on stage.
And you're just sitting there going, holy, and this is all like our little South Side neighborhood.
Right,
That's amazing.
It used to be a drugstore.
Yeah.
Before that, you know what it was? Carousel Teen Club.
Yeah.
Kenny Mitchell, who ran the Holiday Bowl, opened up the Carousel Teen Clubs. You got a membership card. That was in the Struthers in the Holiday Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, then he opened up one in McKinley Heights, in the plaza where Stanbaugh's was, right there, Robbins Avenue.
I Consolidated?
Yeah.
No, I'm on another.
Thoroughfare, you mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, they had one there. They had one in Hubbard, a Carousel Tea Club, and they had one in that building exactly that housed the Freak Out.
Yeah.
It did look nothing like the Freak Out. It just had big pole. It was an old drugstore.
Right.
But we used to play all of those. And the one in Hubbard was in an old bowling alley, and it was all black lights, and they put day glow paint in the gutters,
I remember those days. The black room that would glow, you'd
That was the status quo pictures really of Matchstick Man era.
Oh, right, okay.
I just got a wow on, I remember. But it was just play. A band could play 4 or 5 nights a week back then, easy.
Oh, yeah.
Every church. Places to play.
Every church had a CIO.
Oh, that's one thing. People don't realize how big those teen dances were.
CYO dances at the church.
A lot of bands didn't even have to play bars. If you got in with those teen dances and stuff, you'd have a couple thousand people. And even right across the street here. Remember when they used to have the dances here at the YMCA? Yeah. And it would be Left End, it would be Pooba, it would be Coconut. And all
Young, Gifted, and Brown.
Coconut and Pooba.
Gifted and Brown.
How about the Blaylock brothers, Milton?
Oh, man, the Blue Flames.
Gary. They were playing there too back then. They were hot. I played with the Blue Flames for about an hour.
That's why I was bummed to see that they're going to talk about closing down the Wedgwood Lanes, because over the years I had so much fun at the Gristmill and
that beautiful bar and that beautiful stage. Really going to tear that. That's kind of.
You know what? I auditioned for there when I was like 10 or 11. I remember the song we did was "Ain't Got Nothing Yet" by the Blues Magoos.
Right.
Yeah, I was so proud I could do. And they said, nah, they're too heavy for this place. Because we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was okay. So then we auditioned at the Caravel. It used to be on Lincoln Avenue.
Right.
And I remember Chuck, that was not Chuck Bashara, that was his brother. That was Chuck Bashara. Becerra, the one his brother that owned the Beachcomber. He told my dad, I go, so what do you think? He goes, they sting. Sting. I said, So at least we don't stink.
Yeah.
No, but he was saying we can stink. Yeah, but like I said, I've been through, when Mike Dvorak ran the Wedgwood Lanes.
Right. Fellow Ukrainian.
He would have us there. Oh, good man. Good man. I love
him and Harry, man.
Harry, I miss Harry. I know those kids. I grew up right on this. Right, if you walk 20 yards, Youngstown Poland Road was there, and that was the dividing line for Struthers.
Right.
So I grew up with all Struthers kids too. I had more friends from Struthers actually than I did from Wilson. But Mike ran the gristmill for years. We would play. I used to have a band called Route 66, and we would play there a whole month. Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Just set up, play there. He let us rehearse in the basement. I even think he loaned us money to buy a Rickenbacker 12 string.
No kidding.
Which is like $2,500, but that's how much he supported us. Then he let us play there the whole month, so we'd have to book it.
Right.
We only had to book 6 months. Then Vegas would play the following month.
Oh, Vegas. Yeah.
We'd pack him out. They'd be in the bowling alley waiting to get in there.
Oh yeah,
Now,
it used to be insane, and then that gets back to the Blue Flames and
the Orange Room below.
Yeah.
Packed them in.
Oh,
Where was the Orange Room?
That was right in the Wedgwood Lanes in the basement.
Yeah.
Was it?
That was called the Gazebo Room at one time.
Right.
The gristmill was the bar upstairs.
And that's where Left End, every Sunday night, there'd be
Orange
a line
Room.
around the
They'd
place
rock
in
it
the
out.
Orange Room. Yep.
Every day.
Would they pack it with the Left
They had
End?
Sunday night residence.
Sunday night, man.
Then they started doing Sundays at the arcade.
Yeah.
Ditzler. Good old Dave Ditzler.
Dave, say hi.
You know
Dave? Dave's listening to us.
Hi, Dave.
Dave, Carol, how are you?
I love both of you.
Boy, they had that place going. Huey Lewis and the News.
Dave owned the
there,
arcade.
and
Ditzler.
Yeah, my colleague, Commissioner Ditzler, he owned that.
Right.
And Dave still has Huey Lewis's phone number.
He's also my
amazing.
boss in the still.
He does.
So Ditzler knows me.
Think it's the same number?
I don't know, but he said he had his number.
I know Ditzler longer than I know him.
Yeah, you
Dave,
have.
me and Dave go way back.
Yeah.
But we play at his. Remember Nick Bahana?
Yeah.
Another great proponent of live music. He had the State Theater.
Dick Bahana.
Remember the State before it was
Right.
Agora or whatever.
Yeah, Smart Club.
And he had he had that place in Foxy's.
Yeah. Oh, that place was
It
jamming.
was good, dude.
Was that up on Belmont, Foxy's?
That was on Foxy's was on 422 the Strip, and not
Yeah.
like around Bombay Bike Club across the
Right.
I remember that place.
Yeah.
VIP, remember
Fuchsi's.
VIP?
Now,
There you go,
Where's
Mark.
your
Now-
first gigs as a professional?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
My
one.
first, well, obviously the weddings. I think the first club I played was Sharky's Down Under. Do you remember that in
Yeah,
Campbell?
Tedesco on it.
Yeah.
Sharky's
Tubby's
Down
joint.
Under. Then we played the Geneva
Oh, now you're on the
Bar
court.
in Struthers.
Okay.
But really, it was called the Jim Dandy House Band.
Jim
because
Dandy.
The place
Jim
where
Dandy.
we played.
I remember
was
that.
Jim Dandy's on South Avenue.
Yeah.
There's the one I remember. South Avenue.
Now, were you always the house band, or what was the first band you were in?
First band I was in was Rocco Monaco, and then from Rocco it went to the Rick Trombetta Orchestra, another polka band. Then it went to Midnight Blue.
Remember them?
And then what's his name was in the Pete Danu.
Pete Danu.
Yeah, it was the lead guitar
Another
player.
good guitar player.
And then I was in what's that after that? Bob Mattisey. And then after Bob Mattisey, it was the house band. And we would just show up on Wednesdays at Jim Dandy's, me and another guitar player, just because I was tired of playing polkas every weekend. So we play stuff that I like to do, although we like polkas.
He started the hard way. He came up
And then we had a couple guys showing up every week. Sam Luther on bass.
Great
Paul,
bass
Oh,
player.
Sammy, great guy.
Yeah, Paul Testa
He's a nut,
on the
but
drums.
he's a great bass player.
Paul and Sam played in a band called Misty.
Yeah, I remember Misty.
And
I played with
they
them.
were playing the wedding circuit just like I was, and they wanted to do something a little more rock and roll. So, and then a guy named Dean Bruno.
Paul, what was his last name?
Testa.
Paul Testa. I'm sorry, Paul.
Yeah, Paul was on the drums. And then it was a regular rotation. It went from Paul Testa on the drums to Steve Petracci. It went from Sam Luther on the bass to a guy named Rick Jaron.
I remember Rick.
Yes.
Yeah.
To who else?
We were going to put something together at one time.
Yeah,
But that band had a revolving door.
it was a
people.
Everybody's been, through that, the house band, except me, I kind of stayed stuck there. But the secret is...
Not only are you like Dominic Tocco, you're kind of like Bill Scudero, too, at Sideshow. It just keeps going as long as Mark's there.
Fuck them all. They can all quit. I'm still playing. Mike Roccone told me that a long time ago. He says, number one, get rid of these big amps, put everything in your truck, and if nobody wants to conform, he says, get rid of them.
Okay, I wouldn't mean to cut you off there,
The
Mike.
secret is just having great musicians around you. You put great musicians in the house band, they're the best musicians ever.
Right.
All I did was just, I like playing with them. It was so much fun. It gives you energy. It gets you into it. First time I saw Giz was with Mike Roncone. He was playing bass at Kuzman's.
There's a place. Oh my God!
I used to play.
Remember the Kaliba?
Yeah.
Me and Frankie Dodge, Steve Tereszewski, we played as Frankie the Sensations for years together. We used to play with Kuzma's Wednesday, Friday. You couldn't get in the door.
Yeah. Remember, you'd walk in, it'd be all red.
Yeah.
Red walls,
red
red carpet, red.
Yeah.
That brass railing around the dance floor.
Yeah. But you know what, though? That is such a great place. I mean, that is such a good room that I think if somebody had a couple of bucks, they could bring some really bigger bands in there, just the way it's set up.
Absolutely.
And the parking and everything.
Absolutely.
I mean, like some of them blues shows that they used to do
Small
and
stage.
some of them things that they used to do, like, say, the Suller and Struthers, those size shows, I think they would fit
That Suller and
perfect in there.
Struthers was great, but there was no parking.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
That's all
bar
you
next to it. Do they have anything out there?
No, I don't think so.
Kuzman's. Somebody.
Oh, yeah. It's called the Rolling Mills, but I see they're closed down right now.
That's where you're.
Everybody's closed down.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame because, we haven't played with the pandemic.
Yeah.
The only guy that's doing anything really and trying to do anything, Israel.
Yeah.
Israel.
Israel,
Oh, yeah.
if you're watching or listening, I love you.
Yeah, I mean, he has been doing that at Los Gallos and at El
You're not going to find a
Cowboys.
better club owner that pays and
Yeah.
good
Everybody great.
and treats us
Everybody
all
great.
with respect.
Yep.
And he's actually like
Yep.
a guy, he's a friend of ours.
Last time we played there, I went home with a big tray of soft tacos.
Well, I'll tell you, the last time, one of the times,
I know.
to
Now
give you
I
an
want to
idea
taste
about Israel, what kind of guy he is too. I think it was 2 years ago. We're up at Geneva on the lake for the bike rally they have up there, and he had a house like right off the strip. And, he rented this house. He had this huge cauldron of food cooking out there, and he was cooking all weekend.
Like it was nothing.
And it was just like you would just bring a plate over, and they're throwing a big chunk of meat on that plate. And they had a wood fire going, and he had somebody there, and they were just cooking all day and all night, and it was just
How about the spread he put out for us when we went there?
A steak. What do you call it? A
The
tomahawk.
steaks. We had lamb chop lollipops.
It was like a huge.
We had every kind of taco you'd want.
Everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he laid it out. Really, it
He's
was
a good
phenomenal.
man.
Yeah,
And I
he
hope
really is.
everybody that's listening to me to support that guy
Yes.
because
And the house band will be playing there soon.
we'll be
Yes.
out.
We're
House
coming
band
back.
will be out.
There you go. Good. Let's say hi to some more people here real
Hi,
quick.
people. Doug Brannon.
VFW.
VSW in Salem. We got to give him a big.
Hello, Dougie.
Tony Triciglia checking in with us here
That's
this
my
afternoon.
Wonderful
Tony
man.
Churchill. There's another great musician.
T-Bone.
Yep. Barb Cerny checking in.
Hi, Barbara.
Ron Clazon checking in.
Hi, Ron. Don't know Ron.
I've seen him on
but hi,
Facebook.
Rich Warsack, Bob Mark, Lisa Henkel, Richard Stonebreaker. Let's see who else is on here. Bill Yankel,
I know Bill.
Keith Charles. That's
Hi, Keith. Keith Burke.
Yep.
That's Keith Burke. They stole, they stole his identity.
Yeah, somebody stole his 10 years, everything off his Facebook. And his whole account, he got to come up with a different name. Arliss Walker says, you guys are awesome. Ron Simmerling checking in.
Hi, Ron.
Glenn Sean says, Tongue and Groove rocked with Jerry and
Glenn.
Tom and Dan. Yep.
My buddy.
Yeah.
Keith Sturgeon is checking in. He's mentioned that Journey
Love
show.
your bike rally.
Yep.
Oh, that's Sturgis.
Yeah. Yeah, not Sturgeon.
You could see it.
He's like, let's see.
Yeah, I died by
Let's see who else is on here. Christine Keller Day. She was a little worried that Jerry's going to go off the hook here today. She's worried about his swearing.
She looks out for me. You know what?
She was concerned.
She went
We all are.
one of the most,
We all are.
guys, if
I
you're
told him
watching,
behave, will you?
Christine Keller Day. I don't like to say the day part. I know
Yeah.
it's Christine Keller.
Yeah, right.
You know?
And Patty, her sister, she graduated with me.
So
Yeah.
see, like I said, another little younger. You know, so
Yeah, right.
I like the older brothers.
Uh-huh.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, Christine Keller's a good friend of mine. I love her. And I just want to say hello.
There you go.
And I haven't really sworn too much yet.
No, you've been good. David Morgan checking in here today.
Oh, Dave Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan. Now, I'm a fan
There's a
of Dave
player, man. Now, that guy can play.
He can play.
And sing.
Dave's played with us when we played Firestone Park. That was
He played with you at Stanball, too.
and it's standby. Yeah, he's a good player. When you guys played
I was
together.
off that night. I had to sort my socks because my wife was working. Washing clothes. No, actually, I was on vacation. But David Morgan walked right in.
He played with the Outlaws.
He can play with whoever he wants.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's a great player.
And he jams down along, like down a Mountaineer, along the river. He plays all there. He comes up this way.
He's widely
Dave Morgan's all
popular.
over.
Well, because that's another guy, just a good dude.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Dude,
I really like him.
You feel like you've known him.
I used to remember, what was that place on Mahoning Avenue? Alfie's. Remember Alfie's?
Yeah, Alfie's, right.
Alfie's.
Me and Butchie McCracken started doing that open
The
mic
bass
over
player.
there.
Bass player
Dave
Butch.
Morgan, I met him at New York Music one day when I used to work, teach there, and he came in and started blowing me away, you know?
Yeah.
So I told him about the jam night. He'd come and bring his amp set up, play with us all night long, you know? I know Dave for probably 20
Yeah.
And he won the blues contest for Guitar Center. Had that contest.
Oh, yeah.
Blues guitar.
He's
something.
badass, Dave.
And he
We got
won
some
or he
good players.
finalized in one of them. But yeah,
There's good players.
Yeah, and
around
Butch
here.
is another guy like you. He jumps into
Wow.
any band. You don't even know what band that guy's in. I mean, he plays in Gary Markowski and Triple Threat
He's
with
in several.
Rama. And
Triple Threat.
He just jumps in with anybody.
He's an old timer. He's an old pro.
Oh, yeah.
Baranski and
He plays with,
Really?
Rockin' the Paradise.
Yeah.
That ain't easy shit they play, too.
Oh, yeah.
They sound better
Could you
than
sing
Six.
one of those songs like "Too Much Time on
Yeah,
My Hand"?
Butchie.
Could you do that?
We did, but Baranski sang that.
You gonna have a problem with this
Baranski's.
stuff?
It's a guitar. It's a chord.
Is that
When
my
I get outside, I'm going to cut it in half.
This is my
No,
chord.
it's yeah.
I think it's a bad jack.
What's that? 59.
I wish it was.
This is Nicholas Killer's old 50.
Yeah, this is Nick's one.
we all-
I finally got it off of him.
Nicholas Killer.
Or did I have to
Yeah, talk a
bullshit
little bit about
him?
your guitar here,
This is
Anthony.
the
Well, this is a 59 reissue, 2003. This was Nick Killer's guitar. I'm a collector. So when Nick brought this over to my house, I fell in love with it. Like, I need another guitar like
he
I
wouldn't
want
sell
that.
it.
He wouldn't sell it. So at some point, Nick let it go to Guitar Center. And I went over there one day, and Josh called me and says, "Anthony, I got Killer's guitar. Come over here." I said, "You got his guitar?" I said, "Hold it. I'm coming. I'm going to buy it." And I went over there and I bought it. So it matches my other one. And I have one that's the same year, a little deeper flame than this one, but they're almost like twins. And I love playing these reissues.
Nick's building his own
custom
guitar.
shop. Yeah, he is.
he builds nice guitars. Not only can he play his ass off.
Yeah.
He was the kind
Give
of
us
guy.
a little noodle in
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Why don't you do something since we're
Okay.
talking
Yeah,
guitars right
that
now?
is-
You guys heard me play enough. But
Here we go. Yeah, just do a little noodle in here so we don't get busted. Oh no.
Go ahead. Ready? You ready, Jared? Come on, you guys get in the groove.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go, Anthony. Here we go.
Thanks, guys.
Next times, Mark.
Good job.
Oh man. man, that's what I'm talking about right there. That was worth the price of admission right there, man. I'll tell you, that was good. That was really good, man.
I told Nick, I said, I was playing your 59 for about 2 hours last night. Then I said, hey, Nick, I was screwing your ex-wife for about 2 hours last night. He said, the 59 hurt worse. He doesn't have an ex-wife, but I kind of was digging it.
Oh, my God.
He kind of misses this.
He's rubbing it in because he wants the guitar back. I may sell it back to him.
We'll see.
You
might get it back.
And he's a great player.
Like that. Do another little jam
Buy
for
a
man.
better one than that. What's that?
Do another little
that
jam.
funkin'.
How about a little crossroads?
About
Got an A?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at Anthony go, man. Oh, man.
You better not make me look bad.
Yeah, you better watch out, Jerry. Anthony's going to be playing all these gigs, man. They're going to be calling him in. Look at that. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I went down to the crossroads. Talked about
We don't want to get busted.
What's that?
We don't want to get busted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page wrote that.
Yeah, there you are.
I'm standing at the intersection of sinking.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
I got my lawyer with me.
Damn, man.
I'm not right.
Do the jam. E minor.
He says, Mark says he doesn't have enough time to
minor,
Here's a cool song. Jerry wrote this one.
just chords. E minor, C, D, E minor. Shred, Anthony.
All right, ready? Come on.
yeah, just do it.
Here we go.
Jump in and do something, man. A little noodling here. Damn. Oh, that's some good stuff there, man. That is
The
some
wing
good
bay there,
stuff.
right? The wing bay.
He's faster than Mercury Poison.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
Man, that was pretty good
Thank
there.
you.
That was pretty good. Just a
Well,
little
these guys here
jam,
playing that
man.
rhythm, man.
Wow,
That's
wow,
the
wow.
hard part. No, I'm
Yeah, he just wrote that. Like, says, just go in this key and solo out of, like E minor. And then we used to do it in F sharp. And then Jerry did an E minor, and it kind of rocks,
I would say.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
So how often do you guys get together and jam?
Me and him, lately, not as much as we like to.
Yeah.
But usually twice a week, once a week, twice a week.
Oh, okay.
I'm over his house, boarding him at mine.
I'm gonna have to stop by. You're gonna have to show me a couple
Come
chords
anytime.
here.
Yeah.
Oh,
see,
by all means.
Yeah, see his guitar collection.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
so
I've been
talk a
collecting.
little bit about your guitar collection.
Man.
Oh my gosh! Well, too many.
How many do you have?
Freddie to begin. I did have 100.
Oh,
No, 100 like these.
Yeah, well,
yeah, we're talking like.
I'm not talking
Dude,
Oh, okay. I thought you
I'm
meant like,
No.
100
It's
guitars.
insane.
They got Japanese one.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go 100 guitars.
Knockoff.
This is all the real deal. This is all the
He
real
makes
deal.
guitar center look like
Oh,
a
so
pawn shop.
when you're saying you collect guitars, you collect guitars.
He don't fuck around. He's,
You know,
he's
I'm
serious.
gonna have to
about
build
it.
another house, honest to store them in. But I've been thinning them out. I've been thinning them out, like trading 2 for 1 for something like way better quality. So I've been doing that for like 25 years. I've been collecting them. But I also enjoy playing. Right.
Like Angus.
Right.
He had
All SGs. Then he got me into Les Pauls.
Fuck those.
And now I went into Les Pauls.
I like it.
So, you know, they're all reissues. Jimmy Page's. I got Jimmy Page's. I got Glenn Fry.
I was
I
when
got
he paid 22
Signatures, Ace Frehley. Oh, yeah. I got those
I
guys.
paid less for my house.
I'm nuts, believe me.
I got a small house.
I'll be on Port House one day.
Listen,
Wait, Anthony's a hard worker, whether you know it or not. You know.
Whether I know it or not.
I mean,
yeah, I never really gave him credit for
obviously.
anything. Yeah.
but he does his commission thing. All that. He got a trucking company. He's got real estate. You know, and he works hard.
Thanks,
he lives.
Jerry.
You know, he never left home. He's a good boy. I wish I had never. I got a son. My son's gonna live with me till he dies. Probably. I love it. You know?
Yeah.
I'm still in the same house I was born.
Well, yeah.
I take care of my mom now.
Wait a minute.
My
Good
sister,
care
my
of his
kid.
mother. He got
Yeah.
a wonderful mother. You know, she's cool as hell.
you're making
know?
an investment. It's not like those things are ever going to decline
Thank you, Mark.
in value.
Thank you.
You know,
You could get your money back for them. When I go to sell them,
He don't do dope. He's not an alcoholic. He's not a partier. He buys guitars. And you know what? What the fuck else is there besides guitars, really? I mean, you else you like motorcycles.
Yeah.
But you don't get
I like motorcycles. I used to
But I
ride.
don't have a garage full of motorcycles.
but-
I have
Don't
one.
do it.
100
Yeah,
motorcycles
one.
is harder to hide than 100 guitars. We can hide these anywhere under beds.
Oh, yeah.
I got 12. My wife doesn't.
It's a lot different.
They all
And
cost
have
$400
They have no idea. Right.
same price.
You know what, though? It's like these guys, too, that sell
Right.
auto parts at swap meets or whatever.
Yeah.
They have a motor or something. The wife sees that out in the garage. She wants it out. She doesn't realize it. Well, yeah, you know, just that carburetor alone or something.
Sure.
Or, those fenders or that seat that's out there. Hey, get that out of my garage. They take it down to the swap meet or something. And you never tell your wife how much you make at a swap meet.
No.
And the same goes with buying guitars, motorcycles,
lied to
It's a
her
sickness.
accessories.
It's really is a sickness, but like Mark said, you know, in the end of the day, they do go up in value, and if you want to sell them, you'll at least get something for
Now,
them.
if you buy a regular run-of-the-mill
Yeah.
USA Gibson,
Yeah.
USA, which is a good guitar for the journeyman, you know, they don't go up in value.
I traded all those
You
in
pay
and
$2,500 for one of those, and they're worth 18, 17 if you could get it. These start at like $6,000.
right?
Yeah, they're not
and
cheap.
they appreciate every 20 years.
Right.
This guitar now,
remarkably.
And the
got a-
quality is way better than a
See, for
USA.
me, it's cool.
he got me off of the USAs into the custom shop, son of a bitch.
I bet your wife's happy about that.
Yeah, well, my wife goes with the
Jerry's
flow.
got a collection too.
I don't
Believe
get
me.
that many, but my wife,
yeah, he
I'm
does.
very lucky. My wife understands. She met me in a bar. She knows what I did.
Right.
Okay. I never had to worry about coming home late ever. She supports everything I do.
It's over half.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
That's a battle one right there.
Right.
I got a wonderful.
Well,
wife.
that's why probably you guys have been able to stick around in these bands and stuff too, because I'm sure women probably break up a lot of bands or get guys out of
Yeah,
bands
my
after a
wife
while.
never stuck her nose.
You know.
She never comes to the gigs. You know, not the.
Yeah.
She used to come.
That's
and
why I play guitar. To
When
meet
we
girls.
were young, she came out every night. She'd bring 20 or 30 of her nurse
Yeah.
friends with her.
So
you know?
that was good.
She'd bring Robin.
Oh, man.
She'd bring Lisa. She'd bring.
I
But
think
anyway,
any musician that's still married,
Yeah,
you know,
has a good wife.
has a wife that supports them through it all.
Kim,
Like you.
DeVicchio.
My wife does.
His wife-
Always has.
And she's a
opens the
good
house.
sport, man. She's just into the
She's
band.
she
and
takes our video.
Good promoter for
she
you.
prints our words for us. And she cooks if you
Yeah.
want. her.
Right.
And she's just devoted.
And that's what you need, because if you're not going to be in that, and if you're going to be worried because you're out playing a gig until 2:30 and women are talking to you and stuff, hey, you know what? That's what you do, you know? So are you in or are you out? You know, that's how I look
I've
at it.
been with my wife 38 years now. We've been married since 90. We lived together for a while because we were both married before and didn't want to make that same mistake
Right.
again. You know?
You'll need Mark.
My first wife, you know,
Yeah.
Stand up, stand
Christine
by.
Christine Keller says Chris is a saint.
See?
Yeah.
she is. So is Chris.
Jerry, who
And Doug Brandon says many late nights at the VFW.
Yes. I spent a week.
good guy. Dougie's a good.
He spent a week
good
there
people.
one night.
Brandon knows how to take care of the bands too. He's a good man.
And a shout out to his VFW. The food is phenomenal.
And where's that one at?
Salem.
Oh, Salem
It's the
VFW.
Salem VFW.
Oh, okay. Gary Prong checking in today. Good to hear
Gary.
from Gary. We got to get him on the show.
Another
Steve
great-
Ruman,
Oh, yeah.
Mark Hackett checking in here
Mark,
today.
Mark.
Southside
Rage.
boy.
Yep.
Huh? No,
No, that was.
that's Mark Hackett. He's head of the.
Oh yeah.
Oh, our friend Vicky
Yeah.
checking in here today.
Hi, Becky.
Yeah, she's checking in.
Best teacher in the world.
Yep, and big supporter of all the stuff you guys do.
She takes the video. She is. You
Yeah.
can always count on her. She can't stay the whole night. She'll be there for a set though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she'll do a shot of Crown Royal with you.
yep.
Is that Vicky who we had dinner with?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's wonderful.
Yeah,
She's a
good friend.
great
Comes out to
lady.
bike nights and stuff. Big supporter of local live music.
Yeah. If I had to have a teacher, I'd like to have her.
Right. Yeah. Where
too.
were they when I? You know,
Exactly.
I had a teacher like in grade school. I think she was sweet. I think the
Had the
teacher
beehive hair.
was sweet on me.
In grade school.
I think it was grade school or junior high. I had a teacher sweet on me.
Well, see, that's because she knew you were a guitar player and all
I'd
that
get
stuff.
lips-
Yeah,
I'd
Jerry,
get my
you're-
homework back and there'd be lip kisses, all that stuff. And one time he sent me a dick pic.
Hey, we should go into some of the wit and wisdom.
let's do that.
Now that you started here. Okay. I saw a woman crying in the store today. I asked her what was wrong. She said, I lost $200. So I gave her $50 from the $200 I just found. When you receive a blessing, you must bless others as
Must.
well.
You must bless others.
Wow.
There's this disgusting pervert in line behind me at the grocery store today. I caught him watching pornography over my shoulder.
Jerry.
Where's the drummer? We need a rim shot for some of these. Yeah, there we go. Let's see.
You know, I was the first person to install trampolines and buses.
Yeah.
Now everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. That was a
Hey, here's
clean
my
one. I didn't know I was allowed to swear.
I came home today with 2 black eyes. My wife said, what happened? I said, there was this lady in line in front of me with a huge wedgie. So I was just trying to be helpful and I pulled it out of her crack and she belted me. She said, well, how did you get 2 black eyes? I said, I figured that she hit me. After she hit me, that she liked it the way that it was, so I shoved it back in.
Jesus.
What you say about your wife? She left you the other day, and you felt so
she
bad.
didn't leave me the other day,
the
man. But my wife left me one time, and it really affected me. Yeah, I took all the money out of the bank, bought coke, hookers, bought a new motorcycle, gambled about half of it away. And when she got home from work that night, boy, was she pissed.
Your underwear is much too tight and very revealing, I said to my wife. She said,
Take them off.
wear your own. Wear your own. We're gonna quiz Jerry on some of his things here. What is the punchline? In the first year, this is the first year I won't be running in the Panerathon. Okay. This is the first year I won't be running in the Panerathon because of COVID. I usually don't do it because I'm fat, lazy, and hate to run anyways.
But you know what, though, Fred?
Huh.
I'm fat, but I, identify as a thin guy. I'm trans slender. That's what I am.
Yeah, if you identify as being slim and you're trans slender, there you go.
I'm getting big though. I gotta watch.
It happens.
Yeah.
I took 2 girls to bed one night. They never even saw each other the whole night. They were here.
My son was in a job interview today, and towards the end of it, the interviewer asked him, he says, so do you have any weaknesses? My kid said, I always do terrible at interviews. I think you're doing okay, said the interviewer. My son said, you would, you fucking stupid fuck.
My son's lazy. He's gonna marry a pregnant girl. That's how lazy he is. He's dating a homeless girl now. He said that things are going so well, they might move out together.
Let's see. I read an article that says it actually takes 3 sheep to make 1 sweater. I didn't even know those bastards could knit.
I did. Fuckers knit.
All right, here we go. Name the punchline for this one. This guy and his wife get into a terrible argument in a restaurant last night, and he threw his shrimp cocktail appetizer at her and yelled,
This is just for starters.
oh, man. This is a good one. More wit and wisdom from Jerry Centifanti Sr. on his Facebook page.
As senior to distinguish from my crazy son Junior's on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Just so you don't get the two mixed up. I asked my masseuse if it was normal to get an erection during my massage. He said it was perfectly normal. I said, okay, but could you at least stop bumping it into me?
Yeah, he kept poking me at it. I'm all for it. If that's what you like, I'm for it.
Yeah, there you go. I know. I give that a like or a funny face, a laughing face when I see that. I give it a ha-ha when I see your stuff on there.
Yeah, I mean, people get offended by stuff like that. Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nobody told you to log on to my page, you know.
Or if you don't like it, just keep scrolling. But I end up in Facebook jail sometimes.
That is one of the hardest things, I think, for people to do is just scroll by something you don't like. Whether it's political, whether it's
you have to look, give it a glance.
Whether it's a artist you don't like or a TV show or anything. If I don't like it, okay, that's why you could scroll. Okay.
Right.
I mean, you notice me, I don't put anything political.
No.
I make fun of Trump and Biden. You know, nobody is sacred.
Equal opportunity.
My views, I figure, because if I did post who I liked, I might lose friends. Who knows? Yeah. I don't want to be that guy that's always, I want to have fun. Another very funny man on Facebook who makes me laugh is Jimmy Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a sick fuck. Just so you know that. But he's funny as hell, too, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
could have him on one day.
Oh, we'll bring him down. We'll bring him down.
He would be a trip.
Stand-up. Do a little stand-up.
Yeah. Murphy's funny.
Murphy would be.
He makes me laugh. Yeah, we text each other this shit.
Yeah, that's when you get the good stuff. When you're beyond Facebook.
I always send Chris Keller my post. I said, if she says it's okay, or Bill Amy. I said, but if she says it's okay.
Yeah, so you have some people you tested on. And
I tested on my wife, and she's used to me. So
and she just shakes her head. She don't even want to see it. Now, what are you doing next? That's funny. Put it on there. Yeah, go do whatever. Right.
So it won't work.
Bill Amy just bought a double MacIvan. Did he show it to you?
Yes. Yeah. I can't play with one neck.
I know what's he doing.
I'm sure you could. So where do you get this knack to just be able to pick up these songs and just be
doing it when you're little all your life? Okay. You ever know some guy you can bring your car in, and he can fix whatever the fuck's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I envy that guy. That's the guy I want to be. Because all guys, they look at me and go, "Oh, you can play guitar. I always wanted to play guitar. I've always wanted to fix my stove if it broke." I'm not mechanical at all. But the way we learned, how Mark learned coming up, is you get the needle on the record player and you put your ear to it. We didn't have tablature. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't even have unwound G-strings where you could bend them. We had to figure out how to get that.
Just develop your ear.
Yeah. And the ear training, my mom had me harmonizing with her when I was 4 and 5. We used to sing songs and I'd take the harmony. So I learned that, so now I got a good ear for harmony. When he sings something, I know exactly what part to go to. If you say somebody in the band will not sing their part, jump on mine, I'll jump on theirs. It's just ear. It's nothing like magical or say. If you do something long enough.
And you're kind of born with it.
I would have to think so.
I don't want to discourage people.
No, you have to have something.
Freddie, can I take a picture? Is that okay? Are you sure?
Take a picture.
Always ask you.
Hey, no pictures allowed, man. No pictures allowed. Hey,
fuck off, Fred.
Hey, you gotta.
Too late.
You're looking good today, man.
Yeah, I gotta get a picture of you guys too when we're done.
Up, you invited.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
What he said.
There you go. We're taking a short pause here for some selfies. But yeah, I would think that you would have to be, because even like sports, I mean, there are some people that just suck in sports. You don't have the eye-hand coordination. You can't see the baseball coming. You can't catch.
And there's some people that are just naturals. They're just naturals.
I don't know if I sucked at it because I hardly ever did it. Yeah. I'd go out and play baseball in the street with the Azevedo brothers, Billy and Mike, and Jackie Young and all those guys from Wilson. We'd play in the street, then I'd go in and play the guitar.
Right.
I used to practice 12, 13 hours a day.
Did you really? Were you like one of those people?
I used to get up at 6 in the morning before school just to practice. That's what I was a guitar player before I even played guitar. I wanted to look like Ricky Nelson and play like James Burton, his guitar player. And then none of that worked out.
And here you are today, But you got a lot of guitars.
I don't have that many guitars, but the ones I got, I like and they're good.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of amps.
And the thing is that I'm not a collector, so there's no reason. Those are tools to me. You know?
Right.
How some guys are worried about getting a nick in their guitar.
Yeah.
That's me.
I take them out. I set them on stands. I got roadies. One night when we did the Youngstown Rock and Roll Awards or whatever,
Yeah.
I had 3 guitars on a stand because I was in the All-Star band afterwards.
Yeah.
And I saw the light guy just walk by and hit my stand and 3 guitars. Going over, Joel Gibson, Les Paul, and I ran and grabbed the stand just in time while I was playing.
Right.
I was this close. So shit's gonna happen to them. They're tools.
Yeah, especially if you take them out on
They're
gigs.
tools. That's all it is to me. To him,
Yeah. That's an
still like
investment
to
there.
look- I still like to put
That's
them
like that 57 Chevy you got parked in your garage and not this car you're bringing out there in
this
the
is
winter
art
beater.
work, Fred. I
Yeah.
mean, to us,
Yeah,
to
it's
me,
like art.
That's art. I mean, Gibson
Like a
guitars
69 Camaro, that's my 69.
are beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a pretty woman. You look at
Right.
it, and it's
Think of that
And you can
figure-
play it, you can feel it, and you can make it talk. You can do whatever
And
you
you
want
can
with
make
it.
money with it.
You can make
Yeah.
money with it.
And make money with it on
Yeah.
top of it all. So.
Yeah, if I was good as these guys,
He's
I'd
gonna
be
make
doing
money
that.
selling them, and I make money playing them.
Right. Yeah, that's some crazy
You're
stuff.
talking about the having it in you, the talent to play it. I see it when I get together. We get together with my nephews and my youngest son, and we all sing harmonies. And
The old and the new, we mix right in. I hang right with the 22-year-olds as good as I hang with the 50, 60-year-olds.
Yeah, I saw. We were talking about Vicky earlier. I think she posted a video from the Frenchies the other day.
El Cowboy.
El Cowboy.
And Frenchies.
Yeah.
No, I think Conda's posted the
Oh
Frenchies.
yeah. She
Where's
did.
Frenchie's at?
Yeah,
Christine Conda's.
Yeah.
Austin Town Park.
After she did her pole dance.
Yeah. Oh, she was doing a pole dance.
That's a perfect couple right there.
Boy, there's somebody that gets in Facebook jail all the time.
Yeah.
Christine Condas lives in Facebook jail.
Oh, I know Christine.
She's a great chick, and her husband's a saint. I love
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah, because he's just like so laid back, and she is just
He's
like
into it.
She just lost her mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's
Good
one of the
family.
most dependable.
Yeah.
He comes out when we play, if we can't afford a sound man, that helps us. He don't want nothing.
Yeah.
He's just there.
He's a hard worker.
I've known him, like I said, I used to date a girl that lived 3 doors down from them all through high school.
Yeah.
He used to watch us through the basement window. Yeah. He had a little PA system back then.
Yeah, that's well. I graduated with his sister Anita, and well, I went to Bennett School with her way back, and that's when they lived over on Gibson, across the street from the ball field.
See, I didn't know him then. I knew Larry was my age, the older brother, Larry. Larry.
So how about you got any good Hollywood tavern stories?
I didn't hang out. I would go to Hollywood sporadically.
Yeah.
I didn't hang in there too much.
Right.
I like to go to where I could get laid by women that didn't know me. No, I'm joking. Hollywood, that was a little bit too. I mean, I was friends with all them guys, but I just didn't want to go there and do that. I drank a lot
you do have a
party,
sick
but I
fur
never
life,
went to
Jerry.
Hollywood. I'd go there for lunch sometimes during school.
How's he still alive?
He used to go there. Did you hear what he just said? We used to go there for lunch during school.
It was Isleys or the Hollywood, same thing, you know. We'd either walk down Gibson or down Indianola.
Right.
But like I said, we grew up in the best neighborhood. I used to live by the Hollywood. My first house I bought when I was married was on Cooper Street.
Okay.
Right across from the mayor was Vukovich at the time.
Right.
And a block
my
up.
dad did a lot of remodeling on his house.
You know, that's still, the houses are still nice over there. But it was right down the street from Adams School.
Yeah.
And the Hollywood was a block up. And I had a back porch with a glider. And I'd wake up and all my old buddies, like from Wilson, would be sleeping on the back porch on the glider because they didn't make it home, you know.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time on Cambridge. I had an aunt and my grandparents, and Ray Mancini, Boom Boom, lived across the street.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on that street.
I hung around with his brother Lenny.
Oh yeah.
I was with him the night.
Yeah, Lenny was a badass boy, I'll tell you.
He was a good kid. He always had a smile on his face.
Oh
It
yeah.
was Lenny, who was at the place that night, the night before he passed away. It was me, Marty Emmerich, Sammy Quick, and Lenny. And we were just at remember the Chez Paris?
Yeah.
We were there drinking, acted up. And he lived right across the street on Market, I think. Anyway, that was the last I saw him.
I remember one time
Wonderful
Lenny.
guy.
Lenny got in this fight with this dude from the east side.
He's this big.
At Pemberton, over at Shady Run. Yeah, at Pemberton, but over at Shady Run. And this was like something from a movie. I mean, these guys were going at it. They started over by the swimming pool. This thing went across the basketball court, across the street, into the baseball field. Jeez. And then at one point, Lenny pulled off his belt and was just whipping it around, like hitting this dude and stuff. Oh, I still remember that.
I saw Mike Metzinger fight a guy in the parking lot of the Arena Lanes. Remember Arena Lanes?
Oh, yeah.
Next to the roll. Oh, yeah, that's where we hung out.
Right.
Arena, Lloyd Haas.
Yeah.
Who else? Bobby Martin.
Now, were you there, before you get into this story, were you there like a bowler, or were you a hoodlum playing pinball and shooting pool?
We were playing pool, smoking cigarettes.
Right? Yeah, smoking cigarettes.
Giving ourselves prison tattoos.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I remember Lloyd, you remember Lloyd Haas?
Yeah.
He tattooed him out for his girlfriend.
And a cigarette.
I said, well, what if you break up? He goes, motherfucker. We were kids, you know? But anyway, I remember saw Mike Metzinger, skinny guy.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of some big dude, man, just by staying away, like a foot away from him. Kids fought to fight back then.
Oh, yeah.
Southside had some pretty bad boys.
Oh, yeah.
But Lenny was, for his size, he was a Gold Gloves boxer, too.
Oh, yeah.
But Ray had the fire, in fact, wanted to do it for his dad.
Right.
And Lenny was like me.
He'd been through it. He was done.
Fuck it.
Yeah, Jack Young, he was a tough
Jackie
dude.
Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lived one street over from me.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I lived over there with him and Joey, his older brother Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play we all hung around together.
Dog Anzavino was another one.
Dog lived up the street. He was Billy and Mike's cousin. They played guitar, both of them.
Yeah.
And then the kid next door, Joe Catanzariti, he just passed away. God rest his soul. He's like he had the money clip.
You'd have loved him.
His dad was a gangster. He's a gangster. He had a money clip when he was in 6th grade, with the high waist pants.
Yeah.
He played accordion. We all played guitars. But Danny and Dave and Dom lived on the other side of Brown, across Sheriff.
I mean, there were some tough guys there, man, back
Jimmy
in the
Ferguson
day.
was one of my best friends.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy, man.
He's a
good
bad
guy.
boy.
Oh, yeah. Still got that mustache. He still looks the same as he did. There's a guy that looks the same as he did from high school, from day one.
Just the hair color's different.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just the hair.
He's a good dude, though. I grew up with him. He was in kindergarten with me. I was in kindergarten with him and Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All those guys.
Harry Beth Lewis.
Now, Anthony, where are you from?
Well, Mars. No.
Yeah.
Poland.
Oh, it's almost time. We got to almost wrap up.
Poland, Ohio. Yeah, I was born and raised here. My family's from Struthers, and I went through K through 12 through Poland and YSU and Akron and just been here my whole life.
Yeah.
You don't have any of those tough South Side stories about Poland, do you?
No, but I do know that they used to come. They used to want to beat the hell out of us. You'd have Camel come after us when we played football. It was always a rivalry. Canfield, Poland was like the wussy side of town. But let me tell you what, we had some tough Poland guys. And but you know what? I never got into any kind of trouble because one guy I was afraid of was my old man. And if I got in trouble, it was 10 times worse than going to jail with him. So I always kind of like. But if somebody got in my face, I could handle myself. Right. But I never really got in any trouble.
That's what.
And now, Mark, you went to Ursuline, right?
Went to Ursuline. Yeah, I'm originally from the east side.
Oh, okay.
But moved to Liberty in grade school.
Oh, okay.
And then now
all right. Well, it's just about time for us to wrap things up. Now, that went by like a flash, huh?
Fast.
Boy, did you guys have fun today?
I enjoyed this. Thank you. I love your studio.
This was a blast.
I knew we would.
Yeah, of course. Jerry was going to show up. You know it was going to be a good time anyways.
Plus you.
So, but
you're pretty easy.
Awesome time, man.
Best radio DJ we ever had in this town. I worked with them all. I worked with Boots. And I like Johnny K. He was a saint.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Feedback Jack.
Yeah.
That's a hard-working guy, too. Freddie is a hard-working guy.
And you like fishing, I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I always see you show the fish you catch, and you're in Florida, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
I admire you.
My son, though, he turned into a ridiculous fisherman.
You got him going.
I got him going, but he's so far beyond me now, man. I mean, he's out there fishing with these pros. He's not a pro or anything, but he fishes with those kind of guys. And, if he keeps it up.
When you're young and you start doing something, my man never took me fishing.
Yeah.
He took me to see bands.
Yeah. He took you to play at these gigs until 2 a.m.
He took me to see bands. We didn't do sports. My dad said, you ain't gonna play sports because somebody will break your neck. He goes, you're not mean enough. So he was right.
Well, listen, guys, we're going to have to do this again.
I'd love to.
Maybe in a month or
honored.
so, and we'll come back and we'll do it again. And
I'll
maybe
do
we can
jokes for
bring, Jerry will have some new jokes.
Sure.
Commissioner will probably have a couple new guitars.
New licks. I'll bring another
Maybe me
guitar.
and Mark could write a song.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can write a song. So
He
we
can
don't
teach
get
Yeah, we'll
kicked
feature a
off.
different guitar. If we come back, I'll bring another
Yeah, the
one.
guitar of the
You
month.
got it. Oh, there you go.
Bring an original.
I would love
Well,
that.
maybe we could bring Gizzy along if he doesn't have to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
We
Oh,
can
yeah.
discuss all the bands he played with.
Right.
Okay.
Michael
long
Stanley,
story
still
short,
Donnie Iris.
Gizzy played with every good band in Youngstown from 1974 on up.
There you go.
And then Michael Stanley stole him.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, guys. Thanks for coming
Thank
by.
you.
Man, I think we had a blast.
Thank
and
you, everyone.
we did. Love you guys.
Love you too.
We'll definitely do it again.
Thanks
all right,
to all my
Mario,
friends
wrap
and
it up, and we'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. If you like our programming, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, or subscribe to your favorite podcast platform like iTunes or Spotify. This is original Youngstown content, and we would appreciate you sharing the videos and the word about us. Thank you.